All right, that makes sense. The main political conclusion of Hobbes's political theory is that state or society cannot be secure unless at the disposal of an absolute sovereign. From this follows the view that no individual can hold rights of property against the sovereign. Okay, hold on. I'm like ADDing and not understanding something here. From this follows that... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going back a sentence. Sorry, folks. The main practical conclusion of his theory is that the state or society cannot be secure unless at the disposal of an absolute sovereign. He really believes in like absolute rule. And it's because, I'm reducing again, because of the like instability and the pessimistic view of human nature that he has adopted in this idea. But let's just keep reading. From this follows the view that no individual can hold rights of property against the sovereign. So the sovereign owns everything, and individuals have no rights, or no like inherent rights, and that the sovereign may therefore take the goods and of its subjects without their consent. So this is like brutal. This is brutal. I don't like this, right? As a libertarian, and as I guess I like more Locke, because I think we'll get to Locke hopefully. Locke, I think, really believes in like the that man, like we have inherent like we deserve things just on the right of being a man, of being a human, kind of like humanism. I think if I'm not butchering it, we'll get there, folks. We cannot have rights, and that the sovereign may therefore take the goods of its subjects without their consent. This particular view owes its significance to being first developed in the 30s, when Charles I had sought to raise revenues without the consent of Parliament, and therefore of his subjects. Hobbes rejected one of the most famous theses of Aristotelian politics from Aristotle, namely that human beings are naturally suited to life in a polis and do not fully realize their natures until they exercise the role of citizen. Jeez. Okay, so Aristotle seems to think that we're like built to be citizens and live in a polis. And Hobbes, seeing the tumultuous destruction around him, does not agree. He just doesn't agree with that. So it is perhaps important to note that Hobbes extrapolated his mechanistic understanding of nature into the social and political realm, making him a progenitor of the term social structure. Okay, so I'm still like not 100% sure about the social contract thing. And I feel like that would... Let's just keep reading, shall we? We'll do Leviathan and I'll stop there. So in Leviathan, Hobbes set out his doctrine of his foundation of states and legitimate governments and creating an objective science of morality. Much of the book is occupied with demonstrating the necessity of a strong central authority to avoid the evil discord and civil war. Again, we need to have state, otherwise it's going to be mayhem, literally mayhem. Beginning from a mechanistic understanding of human beings. So I guess he walks through like the fact that we're just flawed, like we have flawed human nature. He postulates that what life would be like without government. So a bit of like speculation, how it would be without government. A condition which he calls the state of nature. So state of nature, I'm assuming, is terrible. Let's just see. So oh, there's a bunch here. So State of Nature by Hobbes. So he argues that he calls the condition war. Such a war is that every man against every man. Dog eat dog. Okay? So, yeah, this guy, thinks that we are just going to be dog. It's going to be dog eat dog if we're left to human nature. Why is this kind of stuck here? Let's go back one. There it is. So Hobbes argues would lead to war against all. Bellum omnium contra omnes. Whoa. The that's a cool thing to pull out like at a cocktail party. Bellum omnium contra omnes. The destruction contain one of the best known passages in English philosophy which describes the natural state of humankind. So this is one of the best paragraphs, apparently. Let's read it. In such condition, there is no place for industry, because the fruit thereof is uncertain, and consequently no culture of the earth, no navigation, nor use of commodities that may be imported by sea, no commodious buildings, no instruments of moving and removing, and things as require much force, no knowledge of the face of the earth, no account of time, no arts, no letters, no society. And yeah, so absolutely, sorry, I'm not going to even finish it, but just, actually, let's finish it, sorry. No society in which is worst, continual feel in danger of violent death, and the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Just look at this. Our lives are just brutish and short. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, I'm calling it pessimism, but just like total, like, yeah, just, folks, on a personal note, I mean, I think we've all been there. Like, we've had those days where just like everything sucks, dude. Like everything is just like, I'm a total Hobbesian, I guess. Just like you feel like, I don't know, you get a parking ticket and then you get home and your girlfriend's mad at you or your boyfriend, whatever. You're just one of those days where everything's terrible. You just feel like everything's out to kill you, out to get you. So I guess that I'm manifesting my inner Hobbes, I guess, in those moments. Okay, let's sum this up and finish it. I'm going over time, but I might split this into two. So in such states, people fear death and lack both things necessary to comfort living, in the hopes of being able to obtain them. So in order to avoid it, people accede. What does accede mean? Accede. It seems like choose. How do I do that? Accede. Agree to demand. We're requesting. So people accede to a social contract. What is that? Hold on. I just want to understand this. In moral and political theory, social contract is an idea, theory, or model that usually, although not always, concerns the legitimacy of the authority of the state over the individual. Okay, so it's basically saying state over individual. Conceptualized in the Age of Enlightenment. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so I reckon Hobbes, good old Hobbes. Hobbes bridges the Enlightenment, right? Hold on. Let me go back to this, this. Hobbes, yeah, because this starts more in the halfway mark, kind of right there, right? According to Age of Enlightenment. Let's see. Sorry that I have to do this. Late 17th. Yeah. So if it's late, it's not the half. It's like here-ish, and he dies late. He like bridges into it. His work is going to influence the Enlightenment for sure. So, anyways, let me finish this. I was getting so close to finishing it. Sorry. So, people accede to the social contract and establish civil society. According to Hobbes, society is a population and a sovereign authority. So, it's a population, sovereign authority, to whom all individuals in that society cede some right for the sake of protection. So we give some protection to the king protects us. Why? If there's no king, we will result to our short, brutish lives, war against all, basically the Europe that he lives in, that lives through. The individuals are therefore thereby the authors of all decisions made by the sovereign. He that complaineth of injury from his sovereign complaineth that whereof He himself is the author, and therefore out not to accuse any man but himself, no, nor himself of injury, because to do injury to oneself is impossible. Okay, that's a bit confusing, but I think I'm gonna end it here, politely. Check out the cover art for Leviathan. And it's like totally beautiful, right? You guys get it, right? The king, the absolute sovereign here, just literally massive, like a giant. And you have the little city down here with the regular folks. You can see them. Hope I don't crash. Yeah, but look at this dude, massive. And there's a bunch of folks staring at him. Whoa, there's this is kind of a lot of layers here. Bunch of people looking up. You see their hats? And then down here, the village folk. And this is literally... That's that. I don't know if I want to read it, but like it's cool to understand kind of what it means, or what it means today, this book. This was a long one, and I really appreciate anyone that got this far. If you got this far and you've been following my stuff, please subscribe. I really need your support. Of course, if that goes without saying that you haven't subscribed already. Please subscribe. Definitely need your support. And I think with that, Wiki With Me is going to be signing out for this one. See y'all on the next one. Bye.